Wigan this morning. But it's not the first time the players will have contended with something like this, and it won't be the last. Well, Wigan have actually lost 3 times here at Central Park this season, unusually for them in their 7 games. OKR, on the other hand, away from home, haven't had too good a season. They've won only twice away from home and lost 8 times. And extraordinary, this is the first time Wigan have played at home in the league since Scrumdown was here for the Bradford Northern game on the 10th of January. That, of course, reflecting Wigan's success in the various cup competitions. Now, OKR in blue, of course, today, change strip. Slight fumble by Dave Harrison, the first time he's touched the ball. But he got away with that. And the referee, John Holdsworth, from Kippax, in a strange strip as well. I've never seen him in green before. John Holdsworth, by the way, a member of the Chesterton Referees Society now. And Henderson Gill has come right across field here to try and take the ball away from his own line. Sean Wayne, nice to see him back in the thick of things after a long injury absence. Here is Sean Wayne. Kissed the case. And a good way. And the last tackle, so OKR have done well here to pin Wigan back inside their own 25, and Sean Edwards with a lovely long floating kick, which is going to be taken at the second attempt by Ray Stead. Sturdily built. Well, the ball moved along the line there, and the first penalty is given against Wigan for offside. But OKR, David Watkins, will need to settle here because they've not had a good record on this ground in recent years.
They haven't had a good record, and they must be apprehensive about it, but they've started off quite well. They're keeping Wigan pinned, and they are attempting a kick at goal now for this early penalty, and no doubt at all about it. This will give Roger Millward's side the confidence they really need to start off a game here at Central Park.
Now this is interesting. Gary Clark taking over goal-kicking responsibilities. OKR, of course, without their main kicker, Mike Fletcher, away in France. And that's what Gary Clark is aiming to achieve. To my knowledge, I don't think he's ever kicked a goal in senior rugby league. Is this going to be the first one? He'll certainly lift him if it is. Not quite, but it wasn't a bad attempt. He got the distance all right. And Stead sensibly allowing the ball to hit his ankle first. That's the way to do it. We might see a few shots like that today. Stead was very unsteady. 10 minutes gone and no points on the board. And for that, Rovers must be very grateful. On their last 2 visits here, they've been beaten by 47-0 and 26-0. So they must be due for a point or two. The last win here, in fact, was back in 1984. Now it's well timed again by Gordon Smith. Burton. Again, the 2 Smiths in harness, and Mike Smith's kick is too long this time. And it's out on the Wigan side, so Nicky Kiss winning the scrum. case. Well, the idea was right, but it's a penalty in any case to Hull Kingston Rovers. And already quite a number of penalties awarded in the game. Wigan having conceded 3 of the first 4. So David Laws will restart play, and he'll go inside the 25 and he'll run at Wigan. And strung out along to his left as Gordon Smith figures in the move twice. Short ball to Emma, Goodway spotted it. And again Gordon Smith here. Beale tries to make another 5 yards. Took the might of Edwards and West to stop him, but Emma is a very strong man and he's only 8 yards out. So it has been a lively start for Rovers, and Gordon Smith's pass. If Stead can hold on to this one, well, he did just at the end cling on, I think, but he couldn't quite get over. But encouragement again for Rovers.
Well, that was quite impressive because they are moving the ball and they are making early impressions against this Wigan side, and Roger Millward will be pleased about that.
Henderson Gill is so keen to have the ball. He's popping up in the middle of the field all the time. Wayne just caught by the ankles, which could well have hurt Harrison. And Harrison looks in some trouble out there, actually. Treatment will be applied. It was a brave tackle by the young hooker, and I think he just caught a boot as he was making it.
Yes, he did. He caught a boot, and it's caught him right across the ribs, and there's nothing worse for a hooker in particular or a front row forward to get banged in the ribs.
Well, as yet, we've seen very little of Wigan on attack. They'll get their heads together, and the way it was put in by Gordon Smith, it came out on Wigan's side, but they conceded a penalty in the scrum. So the away team are certainly enjoying the better of the penalty count.
Well, they are, and Nicky Kiss couldn't get into the scrum in the first place. When he did get into the scrum, he had an unfair advantage by using his hand to get that ball out. Down and trying to burrow his way through as first man. Gordon Smith twice involved once more. He's such a good handler, very astute player, Gordon Smith, whether at scrum half or loose forward. Here he is now in possession, giving it to Glenn Ryan, the Australian, and again it's Burton coming up. This time he gets it away for Smith. Well, the two Smiths once more combine, but the ball will go dead. And again it was Gordon Smith and Chris Burton. But once more, Wigan's public showing their affection for the side. It'll be the biggest gate anywhere in the country today. West. All 6'5" of him. Can't get him very far. Kiss. Oh, I thought he'd given it away to Ryan then, but fortunately for him, Andy Goodway was there to take the ball. Now Edwards and Hampson up in the line. And surely a try for Sean Edwards. Well, that was real pure Wigan magic, because Steve Hampson timed his run to perfection. Edwards was at his shoulder, and the simple little ball opened the scoring. Well, really, I mean, what they wanted was up the middle, and this was the start of it. Hampson comes onto the ball on the burst, go in straight, draw in all the defence. Edwards as alert as ever on his inside, and a nicely timed pass, and a try really that Wigan will be looking forward to. That's a great try.
17th try of the season for Sean Edwards, who celebrates with a drink of nothing alcoholic, I assure you. And he's a wiry and a wily customer. Strange to think he's still only 21. Richard Russell, who could well have been away with the Great Britain under-21 team in France as well, has the responsibility of trying to add on the 2 points, which he accepts. 6-0 it is. Russell takes the salute. Well, Sean Edwards, the youngest man ever to play in a cup final, the youngest man ever to play for Great Britain, and his 17th try that now of the season. Tony Iro. Really, that's quite extraordinary. It shows Wigan's finishing power. It's the first time they've been anywhere near the Hull KR line.
Well, that must be sickening. They soaked up all that pressure. The first time they really came on the attack, they went straight for the first time and they scored a super try.
Wayne. And I like the way there that Sean Wayne was looking to get that ball away in the tackle even as he was going down. Edwards. And again it's Hampson he finds, and this time Hampson kicks. Now that's going to be a tricky one for Stead as well. Plays a bit of soccer with it first. He must be wondering what on earth's going to happen to him next, having been dragged out of play once. Smith. Mortimer. And back inside for Stead, and good tackle on Stead by Ian Potter. Burton once more through the middle. It was Andy Goodway and Brian Case who combined to haul him down. And now Emma. There's a lot of thoughtful football going on. There have to be more here. Last tackle, and Smith, who didn't find touch, and again intelligent positional play from Steve Hampson, who runs across field, runs straight, tried to give the ball a good way, caught him in the nick of time. He really does look the part now, Steve Hampson. Oh,
he's Britain's most improved player. I mean, he's so many things to his armoury now. He can run and tackle, he kicks well, he just does everything that is required of a fullback.
Play goes on here, almost rugby union style. Iro kicks for the line. Tony Iro this is, as opposed to Kevin. And Lizzie in for the try. Well, Tony Iro has scored a quite remarkable try. Well, he must have gone 50 yards there, dribbling it in the way that someone like Brian Robson would have been proud of this.
And this ball goes loose, and the perseverance of Iro now to get it through past Stead, and he puts the ball forward in front of him all the time. This is a remarkable skill on a wet ground, but look at his pace as he outstrips the defence, pushes it onto the line, and that's a half chance into a try. Excellent.
So Russell has a second chance to put the ball between the posts in the space of a few moments, and he takes it with a plump. 12-0. Well, that's an extraordinary turnabout, and they will feel it's an unfair reflection, but Tony Iro showed a real old head then in dribbling that work ball all the way to the line.
Iro swoops onto this ball and bangs it ahead, and as the defence fall for it, of course, he carries through on the tackle, and rightly so, chips ahead, catches the full-back on the turn, and his pace does the rest for him.
Edwards gives it to Potter. Goodway timed that well and spun away from his man. Still going, Andy Goodway as well, and now he gets it to Tony Iro. And they're keeping it moving, Wigan. This is where Rovers could find themselves in trouble. Hampson's got Kevin Iro going. Iro, he'll get over halfway. They're going to have to chase him an awful long way. Kevin Iro has just got the fullback to beat. David inside. Brave defending by Andy Thompson and by Gordon Smith to get back now. So we've seen the best of the two Iros. And here's Gill trying to fling the ball out. And these are desperate times for the Rovers defence. But it is the last tackle. So will Wigan attempt the try as Edwards chips? Ryan takes the catch. And how badly Rovers needed that ball.
Well, we mentioned Kevin Iro's pace, and my gosh, he really did outstrip 2 or 3 defenders in that run.
Again, Mike Smith putting boot to ball. What a good catch that was from Tony Iro. Well, the Iro brothers having a feast here today. Must have something to do with that Carlo Park you mentioned, David Watkins.
Well, they'll be well used to playing in these conditions.
Edwards, again confused people. Wayne, Tony Iro. It's a long time since I've seen a winger have as much of the ball as he's had in the opening half an hour. Edwards and Russell coming together. Oh, Goodway really was caught. I don't think necessarily that was an intentional head tackle. It was just the way he came on the burst at the time, and he looks a bit groggy. He's lost the ball. And there was no doubt that Andy Goodway was caught there by Mike Smith, who's not known for that sort of a tackle anyway. I think it was just unfortunate timing.
That's right, he was running through on the burst there, and of course it's very difficult for the tackler then. Instinctively he went for it, and of course it was, as John Holdsworth is now saying, a head tackle.
And Sanders been called for, and a change of kicker, which is interesting. Now Richard Russell has kicked 2 out of 2, but he's not to be entrusted with a straight kick, which is an unusual ploy. Kevin Iro is.
Well, I think if Kevin is a powerful kicker, and of course if he doesn't kick this goal, there's another opportunity. If the ball does go dead, which is important, it has to go dead, then it'll be a drop out again to Wigan, and they'll still be in an attacking position.
So Kevin Iro. No, way off the mark this time. Mike Smith once more kicking for touch. Once more it's played back in by Tony Iro, and Hampson has to go down bravely there. So we've seen all aspects of full-back play from Steve Hampson. Now Kevin Iro sets off one of those mazy runs of his. It's amazing how he just pushes people away, and they seem to melt away from him. And Gill's got the ball away for Jed Byrne, and Jed Byrne, oh, he just seemed to, I'm not quite sure whether he slipped or whether he was just caught by the ankle. He looked for all the world a scorer there, and all that came about once more because of Kevin Iro's ability to knock people away in the tackle. And we're into injury time in the first half, of which there is very little. Rovers won it, so Harrison's done a good job again. So Wigan go back to the dressing room at 12-0 ahead, but it's been far from a one-sided half.
Oh, it certainly has, because, I mean, Hull KR played well. They built up quite well. They'll rue those early chances that they didn't take. And, of course, you can't let Wigan any ball at all. And once they had those 2 opportunities, they scored 2 superb tries and are well in the lead at half-time.
Yes, it's 12-0, the 2 tries for Wigan. The first, the beauty from Sean Edwards, and the second, very much an individual effort from Tony Iro. 2 goals as well for Richard Russell. It's 12-0 here at Central Park at half-time. Join us again after the break. to Central Park. The half-time score, Wigan 12, Hull Kingston Rovers 0. Let's straight away go down to the touchline where Nick Powell is talking to the Hull KR coach, Roger Millwood.
Roger, you started off very well there in the first half, but really they've given you a lesson in finishing, haven't they?
Well, I thought the second try was a bit of a bad decision, but that's by and by now. It's on the scorecards, and that's what it is. Yes, they've done pretty well though. We've tackled well. We've kept closing them down, and that's what we've got to try to keep doing this second half.
It's a little bit of a job for you at half-time, 12-0 down against Wigan. You're playing against the wind to get the lads believing they can do it.
Well, they believe they can do it. I mean, a good defensive stint again, and you know, anything could happen just at this moment.
Roger, thanks very much indeed. The second half just about to get underway. Let's rejoin John Hell.
Interesting comments there from Roger Millwood, especially about that Tony Iro try. It was a difficult one, and of course the referee, John Holdsworth, his view probably a little bit obscured. He's right behind the players. However, Steve Hampson gets the game underway, and as the old adage is, I suppose they just have to look in the paper tomorrow to see the score. On the statistical information of the first half, Wigan's Nicky Kiss behind in the scrums, 4-3 to young Dave Harrison, and against the head, well, neither hooker 1-1. There have been quite a few penalties, and Wigan have conceded 2 more than Hull KR. And errors in play, a lot to be expected in conditions like this, and Wigan have made 9 to Hull KR 6. And I think that it does reflect the way the game has gone, and Wigan's points have all come from individual inspiration. Well, Hull KR must wonder if there's a hoodoo on them on this ground. They haven't scored in their previous 2 visits here. They've had plenty of opportunities in the first 40 minutes, and another one there, and still they can't cross the Wigan line.
That's right, they've built up. Their build-up in attack has been very good, and as Roger Millwood said at half-time, they do believe they can win, and that must be encouraging for him as a coach. But they do, unfortunately, make silly mistakes in the last play of the ball, which has resulted in them getting nothing at all for their endeavour.
Here's Kevin Iro spun away, and if he'd turned around, he'd probably found he could have gone a bit further then. Last tackle. We seem to be getting through these 6 tackles remarkably quickly. That's going to be the handover, the first one of the day, I think, and plays underway again. There's no time for a breather in this match. Picked up by Kevin Iro for Wigan. Levelling through it back to Tony Iro, his brother. Well, that was a tremendous play for the Iros. And coming up here, Andy Goodway. Well, the Wigan crowd have really warmed to the Iro brothers, and no wonder. They're so skillful, thrilling to watch. Huge, huge ball for Jed Byrne. And Jed Byrne goes for the line. And can't quite get it inside. Good covering back by Gary Clark.
Well, they do really put so much in attack when they get it going together. The Iro brothers there starting that movement off, moving it right out, and Jed Byrne trying to get Gill to come on his inside, but it was checked by a last desperate tackle of Hull Kingston Rovers, which prevented a try again.
Oh, Burton's dropped it, and there must surely be a try here. Oh, the pass didn't quite come, otherwise there had to be. And Hampson comes up to try and make sure that we can get one. Wayne going for the gap, flinging it out. Kevin Iro can't get there, Tony Iro can't. The ball bobbing about all over the place, picked up by Peter Mortimer. He's got a chance down the touchline now. Comes inside, and it's Kevin Iro who's got back to nail him. Well, it's really flying from end to end is this match. Smith to Smith. Oh, lovely play, and Laws can't take it. Hampson picks it up. Hampson roars forward. Unrelenting pace. These fellas, do they have to be fit?
Well, this is really exciting football. I mean, I know it's littered with a few mistakes, but it doesn't half make the crowd happy.
Yes, you can't imagine rugby league being played on plastic. And it's the conditions that are tending to make it such an exciting game. Sean Edwards. So no points as yet in the second half. With the last tackle. Edwards. Oh, and he's flung that ball out for Gill. Oh, still going. And it's the last tackle, so it must be the handover. And conditions becoming worse by the minute out there with the pouring rain, and it really is coming down here in Wigan. The two Smiths once more. This is Lawler, right on the 25. There's the white line, or what's left of it. And Mortimer came up there, took the ball on the burst, but there was no gap for him. So Mike Smith, who's kicked to good effect, hoists another high one. Hampson underneath it. That's a really tricky one to take by the post. And that really did show the quality of an international fullback.
That's right, he waited for it to come out of the air, he judged the way it was dropping near the post, and he took it with no problems whatsoever.
Just look at the rain as well now. Who'd be a rugby league player? Drama at Wigan, not always from the game, you get it from the weather as well. Oh, what a time to lose the ball. Russell it was who put it to ground. Slipped once more from his grasp, and surely now Rovers have got a very good chance with Smith to Burton. Well, the two Smiths and Chris Burton have been at the hub of all Hull KR's best moves, although Burton's taken a knock here now, so we might not see much more of him. Misses out Ryan, gives it to Lawler instead. And the ball this time is, yes, it's going to be a knock-on. Still Rovers finding that try line elusive. And Chris Burton is going to get a rare old knock that time. And it will be a shame for Rovers if he goes off, because he's been their best forward. Yes,
he has been their best forward. He's run onto everything. He's run strongly. He's figured well in defence as well. And it will be a sad sight to see him leave the field, and it won't make Hull's cause any better.
And it's Kevin Iro who retreats. Looks to be holding his arm a little awkwardly. His hand. A shame to see a great player go off. The crowd really loved his performance today. It'd be a tragedy if Chris Burton has got a bad injury, although he looks to be picking himself up. He's been plagued by injury throughout his career. So 15 is Des Harrison. Now Gill. And the ball slipping out of the hand once more in the tackle. Fierce tackle it was too. That's another old bang on the head as Chris Burton hobbles towards the touchline a bit disconsolately. Looks so he's going to actually give in to the injury. And, well, you can't really blame him for taking a breather. Well, it doesn't look as though it's too bad an injury, but Des Harrison, who will be outstanding in that clean strip for a few seconds, comes on. So Rovers lost two men in the same incident there. There's Kenny Lawler who's gone off as well. I hope they're running the hot water in the dressing rooms. Oh, that's good play. And the first time we've really seen Wigan get this far for a long time in the second half. That was Andy Goodway's the player in there, believe it or not. Looking a little grimy. Edwards, he's still distinctive from the way he runs. Hampson's up there. The last tackle. And Russell now attempts to kick over the top, tries to follow up his own kick and will catch Gordon Smith. Nobody's shirked a thing here. David Laws has made a spirited run. Ouch, he's there. The whistle again, and a penalty given to Hull KR. David Laws hobbling, but he won't go off. It takes more than that to get rid of a player. And, that's not a good kick this time. Again, excusable because of the conditions, and Henderson Gill nearly gets bisected. Well, he sees the funny side of it, does Henderson? One of the great characters in the game. Potter! He's not quite sure who to pass it to because he's not quite sure which of the red and white shirts anymore. Out on the Wigan side for Sean Edwards, who goes for the gap. Felled this time. Now then, can Wigan, as they did twice in the first half, show us their finishing qualities? They've certainly not had many opportunities this half. Brian Case turns away for one little smack. Edwards, and nicely done, got away that time. Here's Russell, 15 yards out, and again they look to Edwards for the inspiration, and there's the pass, and Andy Goodway's roaring in, and that's why he's a class loose forward. Timed the run to perfection. We saw him score on the wing at Widnes a couple of weeks ago. He knew exactly what Sean Edwards was going to do, and Andy Goodway's in for the try.
They soaked up all the pressure, they move the ball, and Edwards goes darting to the right. Dummies inside. Goodway comes through on the burst, and that's a killer blow to Hull KR. Worked so hard. Goodway, great try.
I think he heard you, David. The former milkman from Castleford, who's hoping to add to that tally of Great Britain caps. And the goal-kicking duties are back with Richard Russell, who's had a good second half, playing at stand-off half, but he's spooned that one a little bit, so there's no conversion. And Andy Goodway's try makes the scoreline Wigan 16, Hull KR 0, but I must say it's not really a fair reflection of the play. So we're coming up to the last 60 seconds of the game now, as Gordon Smith dribbles his way through and did really well there, and he slipped the pass away to Mike Smith. So could Rovers at long last get that try? Stead taken out, and on the last tackle Mortimer kicks, and this time two of them went for it together, neither of them took it cleanly, then it was given away, and they could still be a Rovers try for Ryan or for Laws or for Gary Clark, and Gary Clark's in, and Rovers at long last get the try they deserve.
Well, Edwards caught in possession here, throws the ball away, and of course the alert fullback catches it and throws it out along the line. Not the best of passes. And Gary Clark catches it, and this is just reward for a Hull KR performance that's been rated well.
Well, it was Gary Clark who took the pass from Laws to go in at the corner, and here he is now trying to convert his own try. Gary Clark, the only rugby league player born in Malta. And that's a very good attempt from Gary Clark as well to convert his own try. Unfortunately for him, it just missed. But Hull KR, I really do feel that they deserve that try. So they're 16-4 down. So 2 very welcome points here for Wigan, which will keep them up, challenging Widnes at the top. And there indeed goes the final hooter. An enjoyable game of rugby league, played in a marvellous spirit. Wigan coming out on top, but Hull KR by no means disgracing themselves. In fact, it was a very spirited performance from them. And these fellas have really earned their money today. And they can smile through the mud. So at the end of the game, Wigan winners by 16 points to 4. They got 3 tries, 2 in the first half from Edwards and Tony Iro, 1 in the second half from Andy Goodway, and Rovers a consolation effort from Gary Clark right